isn't choosing a movie, it's choosing a feeling it already knows is safe. Dopamine doesn't reward surprise, it rewards familiarity that promises emotional control. Your mind learned long ago that familiar stories mean comfort, not danger. In a chaotic world, your brain clings to stories it can already predict. New stories create tension. Familiar ones switch your nervous system into peace. Rewatching is emotional rest, not boredom. Every repeat strengthens the same neural loop, teaching your brain what comfort feels like. You don't return to the story, you return to the chemical safety it gives your mind. Familiar stories calm the part of your brain that fears the unknown. They whisper that nothing bad will happen because you already survived this ending before. Your brain links repetition with survival because what is known feels controllable, and control is the deepest form of psychological comfort. When your thoughts are too loud, predictable stories lower their volume. They give your mind a rhythm it can finally rest inside. Dopamine releases not when something is new, but when something feels emotionally rewarding and safe. Your brain chooses chemical peace over risky excitement. Rewatching is the mind's way of walking a path it already knows. No fear of getting lost, no anxiety about what waits ahead. Predictable emotions regulate your nervous system like a steady heartbeat. The story becomes a biological signal that everything is under control. In moments of loneliness, the brain reaches for what once made it feel accompanied. Familiar characters become emotional companions that never leave. Every time you press play on the same story, you are not escaping reality. You are returning to a mental space where your brain feels safe enough to breathe. Your brain isn't chasing stories, it's chasing emotional stability. Familiar endings calm the chemistry of uncertainty inside you. Predictability tells your nervous system that it is finally safe. The absence of surprise becomes a form of inner oxygen. Familiar objects carry emotional memory inside their shape. Dopamine responds to recognition, not novelty. While life rushes forward, known stories slow your inner rhythm. They give the mind a pace it can breathe in. Repetition strengthens the neural roads that lead to calm. The brain always chooses the path of least emotional danger. Every version of you meets in the same familiar story. The past and present synchronize through emotion. Familiar narratives become shelters during emotional weather. They signal safety when the outside feels hostile. You are not repeating a story, you are repeating security. Your brain returns to what once protected it. Familiar stories make emptiness feel less silent. They give the mind a companion that never changes. Your heart recognizes emotions before your logic does. It returns to stories that once taught it how to feel. Every familiar scene is a memory disguised as entertainment. The brain revisits them to feel whole again. Rewatching is how the mind comforts itself. It is self-soothing, not stagnation. Familiar stories expand inside you like constellations. They give structure to emotional chaos. Known narratives slow time inside the mind. They remind the nervous system that it can rest. Control over emotion feels like survival to the brain. Familiar stories give that control. You return to the same stories because they return you to yourself. The brain remembers where it once felt safe. The mind seeks reflections of emotions it already understands. Familiar stories mirror inner states it knows how to survive. Every rewatch is a return to an emotional doorway. The brain steps in because it knows what waits inside. Familiar stories connect who you were with who you are. Dopamine marks that connection as safe and meaningful. Night amplifies the brain's need for security. Known narratives become emotional lullabies. Stories become part of your internal landscape. The brain revisits them to stabilize its emotional climate. External chaos increases the hunger for inner order. Repetition provides that order without risk. Emotion and memory fuse inside neural patterns. Familiar stories activate both at once. The brain relaxes when it reaches an ending it already trusts. Safety, not surprise, is the final reward. At the end, every story you rewatch becomes part of your neural identity. The screen disappears, but the feeling stays wired inside you. You are not watching the same story. You are meeting the same version of yourself. The brain returns to the emotions that once kept it alive. Familiar narratives synchronize with your emotional rhythm. They beat at the same pace as your nervous system. The mind does not escape into stories, it shelters inside them. What feels known feels survivable. Dopamine seals the experience as safe and complete. The loop ends, but the comfort remains. The brain always chooses the door it has opened before, not because it fears the new, but because it trusts the known. Repetition turns stories into emotional anchors. They hold you steady when the mind drifts. You don't rewatch because you are stuck in the past. You rewatch because your brain remembers where it once felt safe.